Hey everyone, if you're an IT pro, you know generative AI is without a doubt one of the biggest power tools we've seen in a long, long time. But you also know that with great power comes a whole new world of security headaches. So let's get into it. How do we actually use this thing without, opening the floodgates to disaster?
And just so we're all on the same page, all the insights in this explainer are drawn directly from Chapter 6 of a tutorial on AI prompts from Virtualization Options LLC.
So this really brings us to the question that's on every IT manager's mind right now. Is this technology a total game changer, a power tool that will revolutionize our work? Or is it a security nightmare just waiting to happen? The truth is, it's both, and the difference depends entirely on how you use it.
And that's because if you're in IT, you are in a really, really unique spot. You're dealing with a true double-edged sword when it comes to AI.
See, on one hand, you're the people who get it. You're the enthusiastic early adopters, the ones who see the potential. But on the other hand, you hold the keys to the entire kingdom. We're talking about the company's crown jewels, the system architectures, all the security configs, vulnerability reports, maybe even access credentials. Just think about that for a second. One single, poorly thought out prompt could expose everything, and I mean everything. That could lead to an absolutely catastrophic security breach.
So how do we prevent that? How do we manage this insane level of risk? Well, it all boils down to one simple core idea. A golden rule, really. Let's call it the Security First Abstraction Rule. And what this means is you need a total shift in your mindset. The rule is this. You have to treat every single prompt you write as if a hacker is looking over your shoulder. You do this by abstracting, by generalizing. Instead of talking about your real specific firewall rules, you talk about a hypothetical scenario. Instead of your actual server names, you use placeholder terms. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. It says that the best IT pros get that AI is amazing at giving you patterns and best practices. It can design the perfect blueprint for a secure network without ever needing to know a single IP address from your real one.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does this abstraction thing actually look like day to day? How do we put it into practice?
You can kind of think of it in three levels. When you're a beginner, you're just asking for general stuff, right? Like, give me a template for user guide on 2FA. At the intermediate level, you're working with hypotheticals, asking for things like troubleshooting methods for a generic problem. And once you're advanced, you can get the AI to build out entire strategic frameworks using only abstract concepts.
Let's look at a super clear example of this. On the left, you've got the risky prompt, pasting in actual code from a production server. That is a massive no-no. Now look at the safe prompt on the right. See the difference? You're not asking the AI to fix your specific problem. You're asking it to explain the concept of the problem and to show you the method for fixing it using a generic example. You get the exact same knowledge, but with zero exposure.
And this idea scales all the way up. For really complex stuff, you can have the AI help you build, say, a huge cloud migration plan. But you do it with placeholders. You don't mention your Kronos payroll server. Instead, you call it application type A and describe it as handling sensitive financial data. The AI gives you the strategy, the framework, and then you fill in the specific names securely on your own time on your own systems.
Okay, so this brings us to some really hard and fast rules. These are the red lines, the things you simply can never ever do when you're using AI in an IT setting.
First up, and this is a big one, never expose specific system details. No IP addresses, no server host names, and definitely no network topology diagrams. That information is literally the roadmap an attacker would use to plan an assault on your company. Don't just hand it to them.
This next one should be a no-brainer, but it's so critical we have to say it out loud. Never, ever, ever include authentication credentials of any kind. No API keys, no passwords, no firewall rules, no specific security settings. These are literally the keys to your digital kingdom. You got to protect them at all costs.
All right, this one is huge. Never describe a real, active vulnerability you know exists in your systems. Asking an AI, hey, how would someone exploit this specific weakness in my network, is basically doing an attacker's homework for them. You always talk about vulnerabilities in general, abstract terms. And finally, never paste your production code into a public AI. The risk isn't just about some secret API key you might have forgotten in there. It's about your company's proprietary business logic, its unique data structures. That's incredibly valuable intellectual property, and it has to be protected. So with all these rules flying around, how can you be sure in the moment that you're doing the right thing?
Well, there's one final, super simple mental check you can use every single time. It's called the hostile visibility test.
From this point on, before you hit send on any IT-related prompt, I want you to just pause for 1 second and ask yourself one simple but incredibly powerful question.
If a malicious actor saw this exact prompt, could they use it to attack our systems? If the answer is yes, or even a maybe, you stop. You go back and rewrite it. That one question, that single test, is your ultimate safeguard. It's what turns AI from a potential security nightmare into the powerful and, more importantly, secure tool that we all want it to be.